Hey everyone, welcome into the post-game rewind presented by Boyd, Autobody and Glass. I'm Sam Calvert here alongside Ed Tait. Ed, it wasn't pretty, but the Bombers got the win with the 17-16 score. Doesn't mean we've clinched the playoffs just yet. Still got to see what happens in the Edmonton game tonight against BC. And then if they win, maybe the Calgary game as well. But break this one down for us, Ed.
Yeah, I think you've hit the most important part of this right off the top is that the Bombers needed this win. And so, if you want to make the playoffs, you got to stay in the fight a little bit. And this game was a must-win for Winnipeg. Who cares what Saskatchewan dressed with a bunch of guys left at home? The Bombers could not have left this building tonight with a loss. So the win is important. Having said that, you called it not pretty. I was in the locker room just now doing a bunch of interviews, and I heard the word ugly a gazillion times. The Bombers' offense isn't happy at all with what they did. Even some of the guys on the defense, as good as they were, said they left some plays out there. So a lot to clean up. Earlier this week, Mike O'Shea said you want to not just win, but be rolling when the playoffs start. So this felt like you got one or two goals accomplished tonight. You got the win, but they're certainly not rolling right now.
No, definitely not. As a fan and, part-time social media manager, I do want to see the Bombers win by 50 every night. Didn't happen tonight, but they did get the win. Is there a game ball that you want to give out tonight, Ed?
Yeah, again, talking to Reddick Cramdy, he was really mad with a couple of plays of defense left out there. But how can you argue with what the defense did tonight? I mean, the offense had its struggles. Special teams, there's a fumble on the opening kickoff, some penalties on that aspect of the ball tonight too. They turned it around and got it done. The offense put together a drive late, but I'm giving the game ball to the defense as a collective unit because Saskatchewan finished with 169 yards net offense. And again, they still have some good receivers. They played Jake Mayer, who started over 40 games in this league as a starting quarterback, turned it over to Jake Cohn late in the game to quarterback the Riders, but there's still an awful lot of good players on that team. That's the first place team in the division. So for Winnipeg to hold a team to under 170 yards net offense, that says something. And that win doesn't happen unless those guys on defense step up.
We're now just over a week away from our final regular season game against the Montreal Alouettes. Still some time to see if that game's going to have meaning based on these weekend matchups here. But what do the Bombers need to focus on this week in practice, Ed?
Well, the microscope's on the offense, right? Because it just looked like everything was so difficult tonight for that unit. And after the game, Zach Collaros was asked what he liked about the offense, and he said nothing. So that means they've got some work to do. Again, I liked what I saw from the defense, and the special teams rebounded after a rough start. But again, you've got to get things right going into the playoffs. So we'll see what happens, whether next week's game matters and whether Montreal's resting people because they're locked into second. But Winnipeg's got some things they've got to clean up because it wasn't good enough tonight in a lot of aspects. Look, again, you don't look a gift win in the mouth, so to speak, but they've got to get things cleaned up before they play the Alouettes again. And they've got a short week to do it. And let's remember, too, next Saturday is the last home game. Let's try to sell that thing out again because that would be a Blue Bombers record to sell out an entire season. So that's one thing maybe I should have given the game ball to the Bomber fans because 13 consecutive sellouts and trending towards a 14th one next week. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, let's make it 14. Less than 1,400 tickets left for that game. So come on, let's go, Bomber fans. That was the post-game rewind presented by Boyd, Autobody and Glass. Thanks for the breakdown, Ed. I'm going to go warm up because I chose not to wear a jacket for this recording for some reason. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you next time.